Hi everybody, welcome to TIA Now. I'm Clarence Reynolds. The Internet of Things, or IoT, will touch almost every facet of consumer, business, and enterprise functions, and new partnerships are emerging that give us a glimpse into the future of IoT. Mike Troiano is Vice President of IoT Solutions for AT&T, and he joins us with a look at some of those partnerships. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Mike, can you give us a status update on the progress of large-scale deployment of IoT?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we actually report out to Wall Street every quarter on the health of the IoT business. In fact, as we ended last year, Q4 of last year, we announced 38 million cellular connected machines on the network. And that's across a variety of industries and verticals. And really, as you look at the floor today, the show floor here in Barcelona, you'll see a connected car, for example. It's one of the biggest spaces for us when I think about scale in IoT. Of the 38 million machines we have on the network, about 18 million are connected cars. In fact, we add about 1.6 million cars in any given quarter. So all the brands, or well over 25 brands that work with us, great examples of scalability in that space. But again, a lot of different industries, manufacturing, retail. You think about heavy equipment tractors, Caterpillar's here on the floor with us today. We just announced a huge relationship with Caterpillar. So nearly every part of industry, whether you're manufacturing or then you need to move the goods from manufacturing over to retail. So you think about supply chain logistics. There are examples of IoT in scale that are going on today.
I want to talk a little bit about some of those partnerships that you have, because AT&T just announced an alliance to offer device certification for IoT as well.
We did. So the professional services part of our portfolio is really emerging and growing. One of the things that we learned last year, we talked to customers, they'd say, listen, we need help not only building and deploying devices in the Americas, but think about all the other countries that you could have IoT deployed in. And so if you think from a regulatory perspective, these devices have to be certified, they have to obviously operate within the regulatory environment. And so that's a service that we just announced last week that allows us to work with device manufacturers and corporations where we'll take that burden, where they can come to us, and then we'll ensure with our partner Ericsson that the devices are actually certified and operate appropriately in those different geographies. So it's really a scalability play where many customers have come to us and said, listen, I don't know actually how to go do that on my own and work with each one of those regulatory environments. We'll take that on and we'll do that for them.
AT&T has also announced some innovations in the fleet management arena as well. Tell us how that's going to improve on the current technology.
That's a great question. Yes, we just announced a relationship with a company called Geotab. In fact, Geotab just put out their own press release. They're the first connected fleet company to actually surpass over 1 million connected vehicles. And so what we're really excited about with this relationship is that this is the same technology that AT&T is using to run and operate our own internal fleet. Okay, so when you think about an AT&T vehicle going to your home or your apartment or your business to service you, those vehicles now use the Geotab fleet tracking solution. And we said, if we're going to use it internally, it seems like a great idea to also take that externally to our business customers. And so that's part of the construct that we have there. Really excited about what that does to transform the way companies can actually manage their assets out in the field, not only tracking the vehicle itself, but think about the assets within that vehicle in a very structured manner.
AT&T is also making some moves in the cloud networking space. Tell me about that.
Well, many of the solutions that we have today are truly cloud enabled, whether we're talking about what we call our control center, which allows you to manage at scale all of these endpoints. We also just announced something today called Multi-Network Connect, which allows an operator to actually integrate not only AT&T cellular connectivity, so you have visibility into where your IoT devices are on our network, but we've also started to integrate satellite connectivity and other cellular providers that have their service management platforms all through one single pane of glass. So that gives the ability for the business to actually see IoT through a number of different lenses. We also have an IoT application development platform and environment, and that's actually here as a demo here at the stage today. Those platforms, if you build applications onto the AT&T application development environment, are also connected back into other third-party clouds like Microsoft's cloud, Salesforce.com's cloud, IBM's cloud, AWS's cloud. So it's much about collaboration with the big cloud providers as well as you think about deploying and scaling your enterprise.
Speaking of scale, what components will it take to see IoT scale and deployment?
I think there are a number of things that you have to think about. Obviously, we'll start at the device. The device costs in general are coming down dramatically. If you think about the chipsets and the module costs, in many cases they're 50% lower over the last couple of years than where they've been historically. You think about the application development environment, it's a lot easier to build an application today because of the platforms and tools that companies like AT&T bring to bear for developers. We also last year launched what we call a starter kit that allows a developer to actually have an LTE cellular radio and a computer board all in one package that they can buy from AT&T with hooks back into our cloud platform so they can rapidly prototype and get that out the door. So the tools are a lot better today than they historically ever were. And then of course the networks, right? And so we're very proud of the networks that we operate, but we're also very proud about our partner networks that allow us to solution things for enterprise customers that allow those products to operate in nearly 200 countries and territories around the world. In fact, again, we've got a press release that we just put out with Caterpillar. The Caterpillar relationship is a great example of that, where we've integrated our global SIM into those Caterpillar tractors. Those tractors will now operate in over 155 countries all over the world because of the relationships we bring to bear.
AT&T's Mike Troiano, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, appreciate it.